Hey everyone, ready to unlock the secrets of crafting those killer AI prompts?
We're diving deep into a guide on prompt engineering today.
Exactly. And we're going to extract all the juicy tips to help you become like a ChatGPT whisperer.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's really fascinating
oh, it
how
is.
this guide really emphasizes that writing a clear prompt isn't just about making sure the AI understands you, it's about maximizing its potential.
Right, like getting the best possible response.
Exactly. When you're vague with your prompts, you're basically forcing the AI to guess at what you want.
Oh, that makes sense.
You end up limiting its ability to give you truly insightful results.
So it's like shooting yourself in the foot before you even
You
start.
gotta, yeah.
The guide uses a really clear example to illustrate this,
Yeah.
comparing tell me about AI to something way more specific, like explain the difference between supervised and unsupervised learning.
Oh, that's perfect.
It's like the difference between giving someone a detailed map
Yeah.
versus just saying, hey, take me somewhere interesting.
Totally. That specificity, that's your roadmap.
Yeah, I see that.
Guiding the AI to exactly what you're looking for.
Moving from broad strokes to laser focus.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another crucial point. Context.
Right. The guy talks about how adding context can be a total game changer.
Oh, for sure.
They use the French Revolution example,
Yeah.
asking for just a general summary versus one that's laser focused
Oh, interesting.
on the causes and its impact on European politics. I mean, to talk about different outcomes, right?
Absolutely different outcomes.
Yeah.
Think of context as it's like giving the AI a mental framework.
Okay.
It's like giving someone a map
Right.
before asking for directions.
Okay.
It helps the AI orient itself within this massive sea of information, so it can deliver something much more relevant to what you actually need.
So it's not just what you ask, but how you set the stage for the AI to understand the specific angle you're going for.
That's it.
I'm curious, though, how does context work with different types of requests?
Hmm.
Like, is providing context for something creative different from how you do it for a factual prompt?
That's a great question. With factual prompts, context usually means giving specific details, dates, maybe key events.
Right.
Like in that French Revolution example we talked about,
Yep.
you're basically narrowing the scope of information that AI has to work with.
Okay.
But with creative prompts, context takes on a different role.
Okay.
It's more about shaping the mood, the tone, even the overall theme of what you want the AI to create.
So with creative prompts, context is like setting the scene,
Exactly.
establishing the vibe, guiding the AI towards a certain artistic direction.
Precisely. Like imagine you're asking the AI to write a short story.
Okay.
Instead of just saying, write a story about a robot,
Yeah.
it might give us some context like, write a dystopian story set in a neon-lit city where a robot discovers it has free will.
Whoa, that's a whole different ballgame.
Right, you instantly give the AI a much richer starting point.
It's like giving the AI not just a topic, but a whole mood board and a creative brief.
That's a great way to put it.
And speaking of creative briefs, the guide dives into something that sounds super interesting.
What's that?
Tone and style. It says we can tell the AI to be formal, casual, even humorous.
That's where things get really fun.
Oh, I can imagine.
It's like directing an actor, you know? You're not just giving them lines, you're telling them how to deliver those lines.
Okay, I'm with you.
So by specifying the tone, you're essentially shaping the AI's voice and style
Right, like giving it personality.
and making it adapt to the specific needs of your request.
The guide uses a climate change example here,
Oh, yeah.
asking for a formal analysis versus a casual explanation. Those will lead to some pretty different results, right?
Absolutely. Imagine a formal analysis filled with technical jargon and statistics
Okay.
versus a casual explanation using everyday language and metaphors
Right.
to make the topic easier to understand.
So matching the tone to your audience and purpose.
Exactly. It's all about knowing who you're writing for.
And I'm curious, could you give me another example of how this works in a real-world situation?
Sure. Let's say you're asking the AI to write a product description.
Yeah.
If you want it to sound super professional and informative, you'd probably specify a formal tone.
Right.
But if you're going for something more playful and engaging, then maybe you'd ask for a casual or even a humorous tone.
It's like having a whole team of writers with different styles at your fingertips.
Exactly. And it's all thanks to the power of prompt engineering.
Now, the guide also mentioned something called few-shot learning.
Oh, that's a cool one.
It's where you actually show the AI examples of what you want, right?
You got it. It's based on the idea that AI can learn from examples just like we do.
Right.
By providing a few well-chosen examples, You're basically giving the AI a blueprint or a template to follow,
Gotcha.
especially for tasks that involve creativity.
Like writing a short story, which is the example they use in the guide.
Exactly. You give the AI a sample story first,
Right.
and then ask it to create something similar.
So you're basically setting a precedent.
Yeah. You're showing the AI the style, the structure you're aiming for.
And then it tries to do something like it.
Exactly. It's like showing a chef a recipe
Yeah.
before asking them to create a new dish.
Okay.
The examples provide a framework,
Right.
but the AI still has room to get creative within that framework.
That's super interesting.
Right. It's like we're not just telling the AI what to do, but showing it how to do it.
But the guide also mentions a potential pitfall here.
Okay, what's that?
They say if your examples are too narrow, the AI might get stuck in a rut and not be able to generalize to new situations.
That's a really good point. It highlights how important it is to choose diverse examples, examples that are representative of what you want the AI to learn.
So it's about finding that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Enough guidance, but not being too controlling.
Yeah, like teaching someone to ride a bike, you want to give them support, but also the freedom to find their own balance.
Perfect analogy.
It's about empowering the AI to learn and adapt, while still guiding it towards the outcome you want. As we dive deeper into this world of prompt engineering, though, it's easy to get overwhelmed with all the techniques and strategies.
That's true. There's a lot to keep in mind,
Yeah,
which is where the guide's suggestion of using an Excel spreadsheet comes in.
exactly. A spreadsheet can be a lifesaver
Yeah, I can see that.
for keeping track of all your prompts, especially if you're working with a lot of them.
I mean, spreadsheets, that's kind of old school, isn't it?
You know, what? You're right.
Look, what if I have tons of prompts?
While spreadsheets are good for basic organization, there are some newer, more AI-powered tools out there
Yeah.
that offer things like version control, collaboration features, even automated prompt generation.
Oh, wow. So it's more than just storing prompts.
It's about managing your entire interaction history with the AI,
Okay.
tracking different versions, even collaborating with others on developing your prompts.
It's like we're building a shared language for talking to AI,
That's a fantastic way to put it.
a language that's always evolving and becoming more nuanced. And the guide actually gives us a peek into their own spreadsheet.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's full of examples for different things.
Like what?
Professional emails, resumes, even cover letters.
That's amazing.
It's like a treasure trove of perfectly written prompts just waiting to be used.
It really shows just how versatile prompt engineering can be.
Right.
It's not limited to creative writing or technical stuff.
Yeah.
It can be applied to anything where clear and effective communication is key.
So whether you're a marketer trying to come up with a killer tagline, a teacher designing awesome lesson plans, or even a lawyer drafting legal documents,
Exactly.
the principles of prompt engineering can help you unlock the true power of AI.
No matter what you're doing.
All right, we've covered a ton of ground here.
We have.
Clear prompts, context, tone, examples, even staying organized. I'm really excited to dig into some of the guide's well-written prompt examples and see these techniques in action. What do you say we unpack a few of those next?
Let's do it. Choosing the right examples can really bring these concepts to life.
And get those creative juices flowing.
Exactly. What stands out to you as particularly relevant or intriguing? You know, since we were just talking about context and how it can really shape creative prompts, I'm drawn to that dystopian short story example.
Oh, yeah, that one was really interesting.
It asks for a story where the main character discovers they're living in a simulation, but it goes beyond just stating the plot.
Right, it adds in all those extra details.
Yeah, like the suspense leading up to the reveal
Yeah.
and that mind-bending realization at the end.
It's like giving the AI a whole movie treatment in one sentence.
That's a great way to put it.
The guide even points out that by including those elements, you're guiding the AI toward a specific mood and theme.
Exactly. It's not just about what happens in the story, but how the story makes you feel.
Right, the emotional impact.
And that's what makes this prompt so effective. It's like giving the AI a creative compass,
I like that.
making sure the story hits all those desired emotional beats.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
And, you know, this principle applies even when we're dealing with more technical prompts.
Really?
Like that example about writing a Python function for a bubble sort algorithm.
Oh, right. So even though we're not talking about storytelling in that case, that same level of clarity and precision is still super important.
Absolutely. The guide really emphasizes that the prompt should include everything the AI needs,
Okay.
like the specific programming language, the function's purpose, even a request for comments explaining each step of the code.
So it's like anticipating the AI's needs,
Exactly.
just like you would if you were explaining the task to a human programmer.
That's the key.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's creative writing or technical coding, it's all about giving the AI the right tools and instructions
You got it.
to do its best work.
It's like learning to speak the AI's language,
Yeah.
communicating our ideas in a way that you can truly understand.
Okay, I love that.
And speaking of bridging that communication gap, one example that I think really resonates with a lot of people is that prompt about writing a professional email explaining a project delay to a client.
Oh, that's a classic.
We've all been there.
Totally sweating over that email, trying to strike the right tone.
Exactly. And the guide really nails it with this one,
Yeah, they really break it down.
highlighting the importance of a sincere apology, a revised timeline, and most importantly, reassuring the client of your commitment to the project.
So you're not just informing the client, you're managing their expectations.
Exactly. And strengthening that relationship.
That's like having a virtual assistant that understands the nuances of professional communication
I like that analogy.
and can help you navigate those tricky situations.
Which can be a lifesaver sometimes.
And you know, the guide doesn't stop at emails.
Oh, there's more.
There are examples for crafting resumes, cover
Yeah.
letters, even those awkward follow-up emails after a job interview.
It's like a toolkit for any communication challenge you might face.
Exactly. Which makes me wonder,
Yeah.
what are some other areas where a well-crafted prompt could be a game changer, like in your own work or life?
That's a great question for everyone to consider. Think about those repetitive tasks, those moments where you wish you had a helping hand to draft the perfect message or piece of content.
It's like opening up a whole new world of possibilities.
It really is.
Now, we've talked about a lot of specific tactics, but I'm curious if we zoom out a bit.
Yeah.
What are some of the bigger principles that make a prompt truly exceptional? What makes it stand out from the crowd?
That's a great question. I think it comes down to a few key things.
Okay, let's hear it.
First, a really effective prompt is goal-oriented.
Okay.
It's not just about asking a question, it's about knowing what you want to achieve with the AI's response.
So having that end goal in mind before you even start typing
Yeah, knowing what you want the AI to help you accomplish.
makes sense. What else?
Second, a great prompt is audience aware.
Okay.
It takes into account the AI's capabilities and limitations.
Right. We talked about that earlier.
We did, but it's important to remember that the AI is a tool.
Okay.
And like any tool, it has its strengths and weaknesses.
And so it's about choosing the right tool for the job.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
knowing how to use it effectively.
Okay, so goal-oriented, audience-aware. What's the third principle?
This one's maybe the most important. A great prompt is iterative.
Meaning?
It's rarely perfect on the first try.
Oh, that's for sure.
It's about experimenting, refining, adjusting based on what the AI gives you.
Like a back-and-forth process.
Exactly. Remember those follow-up prompts we discussed earlier?
All right.
That's a key part of this iterative process.
So it's not a one-and-done situation.
Nope.
We need to be willing to tweak and refine until we get the results we're after.
Exactly. It's like sculpting. You start with a rough idea and then gradually shape it into something more refined.
Each interaction with the AI informs the next,
Exactly.
leading you closer to that ideal outcome.
It's that back and forth process, learning from the AI's responses, using that feedback to improve your prompts. That's what ultimately leads to mastery.
It's like a collaborative dance between human and machine,
That's a beautiful way to put it.
where each step builds upon the last.
It's not about controlling the AI. It's about working with it, guiding it, and learning from it.
And constantly improving.
That's what makes prompt engineering so exciting.
I agree.
It's not just about learning a set of rules. It's about developing a creative partnership with AI.
Where both sides contribute to a shared goal.
Precisely.
It's like we're unlocking a whole new level of collaboration.
Absolutely.
One where human ingenuity and AI capabilities combine.
To create something truly remarkable.
Now, before we wrap up this whole discussion of what makes an exceptional prompt, the guide offers one final piece of wisdom I think is worth mentioning.
Oh, yeah.
Being mindful of the AI's limitations.
Right.
As powerful as large language models are, they're not all knowing.
Definitely not.
They have knowledge cutoff dates. And they might not always understand really nuanced or complex requests.
So it's about being realistic,
Yeah.
not expecting the AI to magically solve every problem or answer every question perfectly.
Right. Acknowledging its boundaries and using it responsibly.
Exactly. Understanding that AI is a tool, a powerful one, but still a tool that requires skillful handling.
Right. Like with great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly. By recognizing its limitations, we can avoid setting ourselves up for disappointment and use it in a way that truly complements our own abilities.
That's such a valuable reminder.
It is.
Now I feel like we've covered so much ground.
We have. It's been a great discussion.
But you know what they say? Practice makes perfect.
Absolutely. The real learning begins when you start applying these principles,
Getting your hands dirty.
trying different prompts and seeing how the AI responds.
Yeah, experimenting.
It's through that hands-on experience that you truly master the art of prompt engineering.
It's like we've been given this map to a vast, uncharted territory.
That's a great analogy.
And now it's up to us to explore it, to experiment, and to discover all the amazing things that are possible.
When we learn to communicate effectively with AI,
And who knows what we might find along the way.
new insights, creative breakthroughs, solutions to problems we haven't even imagined yet.
The possibilities are truly endless. It's kind of like we've been handed the keys to this whole new world.
Yeah.
This world of AI.
And the better we get at speaking its language,
Right.
the more we can unlock its true potential.
I'm already thinking about all the different ways I can use this
You
stuff.
too?
Like combining a specific tone with a factual request.
Oh,
Or using examples to guide the AI's creativity in ways I never would have thought of before.
that's what's so cool about it.
Right.
Once you get those fundamentals down, you can start experimenting and really push the boundaries and see what happens.
We're not just passive users of AI anymore.
Nope.
It's more like we're collaborators.
Yeah.
Working with the AI to solve problems and create things in totally new ways.
Exactly. It's a whole shift in mindset.
Right?
It's not about AI replacing us. It's about AI amplifying our own ability.
Like a superpower.
A way to boost our creativity and problem-solving skills.
So for our listener out there who's been soaking up all this awesome advice and is ready to start writing their own amazing prompts, what's the next step? Where do they go from here?
The most exciting part?
Oh,
Experimentation.
I like it.
Don't be afraid to just dive in and try different things.
Yeah,
See what works for you. There's no one right way to write a prompt.
that's true.
It's all about finding what fits your style and what helps you achieve your goals.
And of course, keeping all those key takeaways in mind.
Absolutely.
Being clear and specific, providing context, setting the tone, using examples, staying organized, and being willing to iterate, to go back and forth until you get it right,
Those are your guiding principles right there.
like a cheat sheet.
Embrace them, play with them. You'll be amazed by what you can achieve.
It's like we've opened this door to a whole new world of possibilities.
And it's up to each of us to step through and see where it leads.
And who knows what incredible things we'll discover along the way.
That's what makes it so exciting.
It's a journey of constant learning and discovery. So to our amazing listener, I'll leave you with this. Now that you have the power to craft those awesome prompts, what will you create? What problems will you solve? What stories will you tell? The possibilities are truly endless. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of prompt engineering. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI.